Lady Tigers starting off with Maizo, Maruba na tiklak, and Ortiz, Dimakulangan, Manse, while Ateneo starting off with Gretchen Ho, Bea Pascual, Acevedo, Hervasio, Ferrer, and Kainglet. So we have our referees here as well. Our first referee, Adrian Tabanyag, and our second referee, Philip Season. Set number 1 is about to start. UST winning the coin toss.
Now, this is going to be a challenge for Ateneo. If you look at the height difference of the players of UST as compared to Ateneo, it will be a challenge to get the balls through dahil malakas ang blocking nitong UST.
Julian Caballero going for a spike. Dimakulangan, back set. Aiza Maizo getting her first point for UST.
Very reliable Aiza Maizo, team captain of the Lady Tigers.
Dumping it over. There's Ateneo. I believe that's Kainglet. Let's take a look at the replay right here. Kainglet just tapping it over the defense of the Tigresses. And the back row players of UST unable to receive that ball. Middle hit there by Ortiz. Ortiz. Ferrer to Acevedo. Receives well by UST. Caballero tapping it over.
Double called on Hervasio.
Ortiz now. Ferrer. Acevedo getting denied there. Caballero. Point for UST.
At this point, we can see that the Ateneo defense has to tighten a bit. There are a lot of attacks from the side of UST that gets unanswered.
Ferrer back set to Pascual. Pascual going for the dump there. Back set by Dimakulangan and Maizo. Getting another point there. Jessica Mendoza has her report for Ateneo. Jessica.
Technically speaking, the reason that Ateneo lost to Adamson in their last game was because of their inability to receive well. Coach Roger Goreb told me earlier. Now, without proper reception, they couldn't execute their plays. But more importantly, he feels that the Lady Spikers still have a long way to go in terms of maturity. As you mentioned pre-game, Anton, recruitment has been a challenge for Ateneo, and Coach believes that they're still in the process of building up a championship team. Still, the team intends to put up a good fight against the Tigresses today. Anton and Ann?
Thank you, Jessica. And it is Jessica's birthday today, so happy birthday, Jessica. Yes, recruitment has really, even for Coach Roger's other teams, because Coach Roger, we all know he comes from San Sebastian, right?
Yeah.
He coaches the men's team, the women's team, and the juniors team. Imagine that. He coaches 3 teams in that school, and now he comes here to Ateneo. But he says it's no problem because the NCAA season is over, and now it's time for him to focus here with Ateneo. It's in his second year already of this program, and he doesn't. His goal, to be honest, he told me a while ago, is not really to make it in the Final Four this year because he believes that this is a 3-year program.
Yeah.
But if they can make it, then why not?
That's correct. But I think that's like it's a good thing even for the players as well because you see they don't feel as much pressure. They know that the end in mind of their coaches just make them improve, work better on making them a solid team, a more mature team.
Well, Ateneo able to tie the game. Okay, net serving. Maizo receiving. Back set. Maizo getting it back. And UST will get a point. I believe that's the third point of Aiza Maizo. This game so far, 5-all. Maizo serving. Ferrer. Reading that perfectly. Maizo again. Oh, service error there, hitting the net. Another deadlock here, 6-all. Manatikla.
Oh, good block.
Manatikla. Third serving now. Oh. And finally, getting the point. UST up 7-6. Look at this right here.
The approach itself was very aggressive.
That's the third spike of that rally. And finally, getting the kill. Ferrer, oh, what a deceptive dump by Ferrer. Look at that. She did it with one hand.
You know, Ferrer can actually see the other side of the court with her third eye. Third eye on the right side of the head. She's very good. She actually gets to see the open areas.
Gretchen Ho. Ferrer to Pascual, middle hit was received well. Free ball for the Lady Eagles. Ferrer to Pascual. Can't get it yet. Manatikla. Hervacio.
Successful with that attack.
And Ateneo leading 8-7 as we go to our first commercial break. More of the UAAP Season 72 Women's Volleyball Tournament when we come back. Back here at the arena in San Juan City, as we take a look at the crowd here that have made their way here, not doing their Christmas shopping, deciding on checking out the volleyball games here today. Ateneo leading 8-7 at this point in time. We are in the first set of this game.
As we take a look at Jed Montero, that's a former player of or she watched the game of her former team earlier.
De La Salle taking that game 3-0. La Salle now leading, getting solo first place in the team standings, winning five games. So they are going to have a very enjoyable Christmas break.
That's right.
Manatikla.
Another successful attack
for Manatikla. And at this point in time, we will have a report from the UST side with Tiff Atendido.
Yes, Anton, going up against a team whom they've always faced off in different leagues, Coach Shaq said that they just have to maintain their good performance against Ateneo. Coming off a 3-game winning streak, their game plan for today: first, stop the strong spikes of the Lady Eagles. Next, with service reception, very important, but this is their weakness. So Coach asked the Tigresses to just execute and focus. Lastly, nandito kayo para maglaro, so you better make good attacks. Anton and Ann.
Thank you, Tiff. That is a pretty strong final statement by Coach Shaq. Wanting to make sure that they close out their final game this year with a win and head into the Christmas break at solo second place. Coach Shaq, former player himself, played for FEU under Coach Nespa Millar, another familiar figure in volleyball, coaching for FEU.
Weird, right? If, for example, Coach Shaq, he's playing against, say for FEU or for any coach for that matter. If you're playing and now ikaw yung coach ng kabilang team which is coached by your former coach.
Yes, and Coach Shaq getting the better of his former coach when they played FEU in their last 2 ball games. Look at Ortiz here.
currently ranked #1 best attacker.
Let's hope Ateneo is aware of that. They are leading 11-10. Caballero tying the game again. Another deadlock here in this opening set.
But Caballero go for the shorter blocker of Ateneo.
Hervasio. Maizo. Received well by Acevedo.
Oh, what a smart move by Jem Ferrer.
Second smart move we've seen from her today.
What's good about Jem Ferrer is that she always has presence of mind. She always looks at the open areas in the other side of the court. So she doesn't wait for her attackers to score the points anymore.
That was really close. It was on the line. So that counts if it hits the line. Ortiz. Game tied now at 12. Ortiz serving. Ferrer back set. Kainglet. Ortiz receiving it well. Caballero. She'll try again. Nope. Back set. Maizo. Oh. She cannot be denied today. Look at this.
Not yet. Look at that. Right through the blockers of Ateneo.
Ferrer. Good dig there by Banatikla. Caballero. Kainglet.
Denied.
Maizo denying Kainglet on that attempted spike. Let's listen in on Coach Roger Gorayev and the Ateneo Lady Eagles.
Isa na lang yung blocker mo eh. Pag tumatalon ka sa taas, pag iniisip mo wag ka lang pumalo, wag kang tumingala. Pag tumingala ka, hindi mo makikita yung blocker mo. Tingnan mo kung nasaan yung kamay ng blocker mo. Pag pumapalo kayo, diretso doon sa tao eh. Gagalaw, yun na naman oh. Pag pinalo rito, tumatakbo kayo pero hindi kayo gumagalaw. Tumatakbo lang kayo pero yung bola hindi nyo kinukuha. Ito yan, pasugod ka nga doon sa harapan, eh nandyan yung bola pumatak sa harap mo. Galaw. Isa na lang blocker. Tumingin ka sa blocker, ha?
You know what, Anne? I've been watching Coach Roger Gorayev during his huddles, and it's rare that I see him, happy. He's always serious, and he's always in that kind of tone.
That's it. Even if his team is the one who's up, it's always like that. That's true.
Meanwhile, Kainglet. Getting the point there.
As we check out Bea Pascual, who's at the service line.
Ferrer to Maizo. Maizo will try again. Nope.
Oh, the advantages of being a left-handed attacker.
Acevedo. Smart play there. Going for the dump. Pascual again. Service error. A lot of deadlocks here in the first set. UST and Ateneo. UST 3 wins and 1 loss. Ateneo 2 wins and the same number of losses in the standings.
Oh, and that's clearly out, Anton.
A mishit by Maru Banatikla. Banatikla, who has been playing well, has yet to find her groove here in this game so far. Another deadlock, 15 all. Makulangan, Maizo. If Banatikla is not hot, Maizo has been the hot one so far for UST. We'll take another break. The Tigresses are up by 1, 16-15. You're watching the Season 72 of your UAP Women's Volleyball Tournament, live from the arena in San Juan City.
And there you have Mr. Ricky Palou, board member of the UAAP for Ateneo de Manila University, enjoying this afternoon watching the game with us.
One of the main people who recruited the multi-titled head coach, Roger Gorayeb, in his second season.
Fourth serve and an ace for Aiza Maizo.
Lady Eagles not able to react to that. Maizo finding the seam in the defense, 17-15 now. And look at that powerful spike there by Hervasio. She's got one of the most powerful spikes I've seen here so far in the UAP women's division.
That's right, and she's currently ranked 4th best scorer with the league.
UST. Ferrer to Hervasio. Hervasio just getting it inside. The ball is still alive though.
Oh, no coverage there for UST.
Banatikla and Hannah Manse.
We were just looking at each other actually, trying to guess who would get the ball.
Yeah, and then Manse lunged in too late. Ortiz. Another powerful hit. Micah Ortiz. Malatikla with the serve. Ferrer.
Oh, and a good block from the towers of UST.
Bea Pascual getting a facial, the ball going right back to her face. Let's listen in on Coach Shaq De Los Santos and UST.
Micah, nice block, okay? Ha? Tuloy lang, ganun lang. Laging gumagalaw. Hindi naman sila basta nag-i-quick eh. Tingnan mo, pag doon galing, papunta dito yun i-quick. Pero pag doon, papunta sa B. Okay? Ay, Maro. Ano? Oh? Nasa harap mo yung bola, oh. Kung medyo napalakas-lakas, tinamaan ka sa ulo. Siguro, isabihin mo na talaga sa'yo.
Pag-akit mo, bumawin ka na.
Iharang mo na sa antena. Puro straight gagawin nun sa'yo. Pag napapalusot niya ng straight.
Look at the way Coach Shaq started his huddle, bracing Ortiz for that one, and then later on telling Maru
What are you doing?
about that when she just froze and then didn't receive the ball. Tabaquero in the game for the first time. You know, this is the second time I've seen Coach Shaq bring in Angelita Baquero off the bench at the later part of the game.
Well, maybe we can check out later why, but Tabaquero is usually one of his starters.
He did that also in the game against FEU.
Look at the power in that attack. If you look at her, it's actually quite deceiving because she's very slim. But then when you see her spike the ball, wow, the power in that.
Ferrer, back set. Pascual. Net, trying to dump it over. Ortiz. Tabaquero.
Oh, Banatikla thought that the libero would get that attack.
That's the second time she thought another teammate would get the attack.
This is why communication is very important, and you can't tell your teammate that it's yours. You always have to say that it's mine.
Getting denied there, but she touch the net.
That doesn't go over, actually. Take a look at the replay. It went straight to the net.
22-19 now. UST up by 3. Kainglet this time. Tabakero blocking that shot. UST getting a point there. 3-19.
And a substitution for Ateneo. Pahe coming in for Kainglet.
Acevedo. Maizo unable to get that over. Ateneo trying to stay alive. They have to come back here. UST 2 points away from taking set number 1. Can Ateneo start a run? Pascual. Acevedo setting up for Pahe.
He gets a point.
Producing. Right after coming in the ball game is Pahe. Kulangan Tabakero.
Great play there by Di Kulangan.
Getting it to the right girl. Angelique Tabakero. Make no mistake about it, she will score on that spike. Tabakero now serving. Ferrer. Acevedo using the left. Pahe. And Ateneo. Getting the point here. They are still hanging on here in set number 1. Bakero, di mo kulangan, maruba na tikla. Gretchen Ho.
Free ball.
For Ateneo. Ferrer. To the middle. Bam. Wow. That is just power. UST trying to stop the run of Ateneo. Let's listen in.
Aiza, huwag mo hilahin yung kamay mo. Pababa yung sikri. Ha? Isang patay lang. Ha? Ana, galaw. Baro. Bilis. Mabagal eh. Ha? Isa lang magandang atake. Para tapos na. Okay, receive tayo maganda. Cover tayo, cover. Ha? Attack cover tayo. Cut. Tingnan mo muna.
Here on this last play, you see Gervasio coming, and then the libero. This is Katrina Karangan, unable to receive that powerful spike.
And that timeout was actually called probably to break the momentum of Ateneo. Let's see if they do get a point.
Ateneo still alive here, and what? Oh, getting the crowd. I thought UST had it because they got the offensive block, but then the referee giving the point to Ateneo 24-all. What a first set we're having here.
It's time, but it's good.
What a pick there by Manse. Ateneo. Acevedo. Ball is still alive. Ferrer.
Look at this rally.
Oh, and finally, Gervasio getting the bump. What a rally. Let's listen again on UST.
Ayaw gumalaw eh. Gusto nyo lang, nasa harap nyo yung bola.
Papauna tayo sa mga bola dyan sa taas. Ano tayo kamilit? At siya yung bola, nag-aagawan tayo sa taas. Pauunahin natin sila. Kaya naman natin unahan. Tara! Isa lang ha. Isa sayang na malayo pa yan. Receive mo mga
Tigresses down by 1 in set number 1, 25-24. That was the last point scored by Z Hervasio. And look at this, UST bringing in Denise Santiago, the tallest player on their lineup.
Oh, and there was a touch. Both UST and Ateneo doesn't want to give up. We're only in the first set.
There's no letting up from these two. Right here, UST and Ateneo. Hervasio again!
This is just an exchange of points for both teams. So let's see if UST now can try to tie it at 26 with Ateneo.
Set point here for the Lady Eagles. Santiago will try. Ateneo able to receive it. Hervasio trying to dump it over. Denied by Santiago. She'll try again. Denied. And UST ties the game once again.
Now is a race to 2. First one to 28 would win set number 1.
Santiago, one of the 5 rookies on this UST team. Good reception there by UST. And Banatikla getting that spike. UST now with the advantage, 27-26. Denise Santiago. Hervasio again. We are going into a tie-in.
But you know, this is actually good. It's a good sign that you see that both teams are actually trying their very best to get set number 1.
You're getting a treat on this Saturday. We are only in set number 1, 27 all. UST against Ateneo. Micah Ortiz. Hervasio again. And that is out of bounds.
Had that ball gone in, it would have been a point for Ateneo. There was no defense for UST.
Banatikla, can UST take set number 1?
Oh, I don't think so. Not yet.
Not yet. And Hervasio has just been, a powerhouse here in set number 1.
That's right. Whenever they need a point,
They go to
Hervasio-
her.
Yeah, and she delivers.
The Vaquero now tries her own version of a power spike. And an error there. Wasn't able to set it correctly. Was Dimakulangan. Hervasio now at service. 29-28. Tabaquero. Ateneo trying to take set number 1.
And it's out.
And again, another tie. No team is letting up here. 29 all. Both coaches are on their feet. Coach Shaq directing instructions. Coach Roger sending Kainlet back into the game. Dimakulangan now in the back row serving. Good dive there, Tabaquero. Ferrer. Kainlet gets it back. Oh.
She gets that point off the libero of UST.
That's Katrina Karangan, unable to handle that spike.
It's going to be a painful error. It could actually cost UST this set.
You saw Coach Roger there. Bea Pascual. Oh, sayang. I mean, that ball was already on the top of the net. That's like a Christmas present on a Christmas day, and Bea Pascual wasn't able to time that the right way and get the ball with that offensive block. And now the game is tied again at 30.
Good defense.
The Vaquero. Ferrer. Dumping it over. What a rally we're having here. Maizo.
Look at
Herbacio. Will they save it? Will they save it? They do. Oh, man.
What a
Santiago. Ferrer. Oh, Ateneo getting it.
What an unfortunate way to lose a point.
Look at that. Maizo. Look at this. This was done right here. And that's just the perseverance and not giving up by Herbacio diving and saving that ball. Misreception there by Santiago, but the ball is still alive. Can Ateneo get it? Kainget. Oh, finally! Finally! Kainget using a tool and getting the point for Ateneo. 32-30. The Lady Eagles take set number 1. And we went the distance. Set number 2 coming up. You're watching the UAAP Season 72 Women's Volleyball Tournament. You're watching UAAP Season 72 Women's Volleyball, and Ateneo taking set number 1, 32-30. And look at that. We had so many deadlocks, but in the end, Kainlet on that play getting the set number 1 for Ateneo.
Oh, that's right. Clearly in that first set. So for those of them who have just joined us, actually, we're only in set number 1. That was not the final set, but we went all the way to 32. You see, I mean, what's good, I guess, is that both teams are really exerting double the effort in terms of floor defense, in terms of attacks. And we've seen how Ateneo went after the ball, even if it was way outside already. So you see the effort is really there.
Yeah, special mention. That was Z Herbacio who actually saved that ball, diving with one hand, just hitting it upward. And Ateneo was able to save that ball, giving a free ball to UST and eventually taking set number 1.
That's right. I guess for set number 1, we've seen quite a few errors from both teams. Something that they should look at when here in set number 2. As we take a look at our set number 1 statistics, you can see that Ateneo actually led the scoring in terms of attacks with 24 points as compared to only 19 of UST. 2 block points for Ateneo while UST has 3. In terms of unforced errors, it's 7 for Ateneo and 6 for UST. So clearly the only differentiating factor, I guess, in the statistics is that the number of attacks of Ateneo was clearly higher than that of UST.
Both teams wanting to start their Christmas break with a victory and come into next year with that momentum. Set number 2. You're watching us live on Studio 23 from the arena in San Juan City. I'm Anton Rojas together with Anne Remulla. Z Herbacio, the hero of set number 1, saving that that really wild rally.
Yeah. Even if it's just a ball, it's not a point, but the mere fact that she saved the ball kind of boosted the morale and, you know, hyped and gave energy to her teammates.
UST with Angelita Baquero now starting off here, getting a spike for the Tigresses. Kainlet. Good offensive block there by Maizo and Santiago.
See now Coach Shaq is going for his younger middle blocker, Santiago. Probably one of the tallest players that we have here in the UAAP for this year.
Maizo to Tabaquero. That is just power. But Pascual and Ferrer here not afraid. Nevertheless, Tabaquero getting the point, 3-0 UST. Trying to bounce back here. Jousting at the top was Ferrer and Santiago. And Pascual. 3-1 now. Di makulangan. What a fist shot there by Maizo.
Poor defense.
Ateneo took set number 1. Let's see what they talked about coming into set number 2 with the birthday girl, Jessica Mendoza. Jessica.
Thanks, Anton. Perhaps the reason that Coach Roger Goreev keeps a very serious manner during his games is his desire to keep his young team disciplined. With 2 rookies and 5 sophomores carrying the team this year, Coach feels that he needs to instill in them the ability to make mature decisions and to be less easily intimidated. Kailangan nilang matutong maglaro ng magulang, he told me. For this set, he wants the girls first to focus on speed and attacking in order to counter UST's size advantage, second to make sure to cover each other's backs, and finally to keep up their incredible effort at receiving. Anton and Ann?
Thank you, Jessica. That's right. Incredible effort in receiving. And yes, they have 2 rookies only. That's Faustino and Bagatsing. So talagang yung mga veterano ng Ateneo, sila yung dapat magdala dito.
But take note, the veterans are sophomores. She mentioned earlier that,
yeah, they got 5 players last year, right? Kainlet.
It's a double called on Santiago. That wasn't her ball, actually. No, she was on her way back, getting ready for her approach. Try to set the ball.
Ferrer getting a service ace there. After being down 3-0, Ateneo now getting 5 straight points. 5-3 now.
Great attack by Aiza Maizo from the middle.
Excellent quick there. Santiago, Hervasio receiving it. Maizo. Tough angle there.
That one is called out. Point goes to Ateneo.
Pascual, one of 4 graduating players of this Lady Eagle team. Di makulangan. Maizo, Hervasio, back set, Acevedo, ball is still alive here. Good offensive block. Whoa!
He's winning that.
Winning that joust. Both players going at the top of the net, but Ortiz was the taller one of the 2.
It must be very enjoyable for Di Makulangan to do her setting duties, because if you look at the frontliners now of UST, no matter which teammate she gives the ball to, they can all attack.
Add the height to that, and that will add more problems to the Lady Eagles. Back set. Misreception there by Denise Santiago. And it is starting off as another tight set here in set number 2. Di makulangan. Ferrer back set to Acevedo. Ateneo getting it. 8-7. We are in for another tight one here. Ateneo leading 1-0, leading 8-7 in set number 2. We'll take a break. The UST Tigresses down 1-0. Let's listen in on Tiff Atendido, who has a report. Tiff?
Yes, Anton, consistency was emphasized by Coach Shaq. His reminders for the Lady Tigresses: pag humahaba ang rally, maintain your focus. The game isn't over until the whistle is blown. Kaya at may kalaban kayo, babalik talaga ang bola sa inyo, kaya gumalaw lang kayo. Next, huwag kayong matataranta. Timing lang ang ang kailangan at wag niyong unahan ang bola. Lastly, calm and composed, he said. Recover at bawi lang tayo. Anton and Ann.
Thank you, Tiff. That is exactly what they need to come back here in this game. They are down 1-0, losing a very, very exciting first set, 32-30. Ateneo taking that one. Now UST down 8-7. Hervasio. Di makulangan. Back set. Aiza Maizo. UST tying the game once again at 8. Gabriel.
What a great quick attack by Gretchen Ho.
Perfectly executed.
Now, this is a classic example of sipag and yung bilis, no? Of center spikers.
Service ace there by Acevedo. Not read well by the UST defense. But that time, going over the line was Acevedo. Acevedo receiving that. Gretchen
Ho very effective in the front line for Ateneo at this point. 2 consecutive points.
to 9. Ateneo leading. Ho at service. Another bad reception by Karangan. Hervasio.
That clearly does not go over. Chance for UST to tie it with Ateneo.
Manatikla has been quiet so far. Gabriel to Hervasio and gets denied by the net.
Again.
That was a little too far out though, don't you think?
That's right. Actually, if you take a look at this set, she was right by the attack line. She had to adjust, but not enough angle in that ball.
Ferrer back set to Pascual, decides to tip it over. And the point goes to the Lady Eagles. Karangan, Titimakulangan, Santiago. What do you think of Denise Santiago at the middle?
I think right now, she's only a rookie, right? I think she's playing quite well. She's very aggressive, but I personally, I think that in a few years, she still needs to, firm those muscles up and probably gain more strength and speed, but you know that she's somebody to watch out for.
She should be a nice project to work on, right?
You gotta give it to her. She's only a rookie and she's now on the floor. I'd say that she's playing quite well and contributing to the Lady Tigers as well.
UST has exciting rookies, just like Maru Banatikla and then Santiago. They also have a rookie libero in Fortuna, but I haven't seen her play so far. She played against FEU, and now we see the other libero, Karangan. UST getting another point here.
That was courtesy of Angelita Baquero, one of the slim players of UST, but boy, does she have power.
She's got power in that right arm. Makulangan. Here's Tabaquero.
Good coverage by Maizo.
Ferrer to Kainet. Point for the Lady Eagles. Santiago unable to receive that ball. Tignan natin dito. Tabaquero. That was that spike by Pero. Di makulangan. And Ortiz. Quick down the line spike there for her. Game is tied again. We are in set number 2. Ateneo taking set number 1, 32-30. Gabriel. Kainglet. Di makulangan. Banatikla.
Looking for UST right now is consistency. They are playing well. It's just that somehow, somewhere in between, there are like a series of errors that they commit, causing Ateneo to either overtake them or tie the score with them.
UST leading 16-14. We'll take a break. You are watching the UAP Season 72 Women's Volleyball Tournament. Welcome back to the arena in San Juan City. And before the break, you were talking, Anne, about the consistency of UST. They lost their opening game against LaSalle 3-2. And then they won their next 3 games and they did not lose a single set in that span of time. But they lost the first set here. Could that be a case of getting used to winning and then suddenly losing a set? Could that be overconfidence or something?
Could be overconfidence, but I think in the case of UST, sometimes it's them actually relaxing within the game. So in this case, you can see that you've seen a series of good points, good plays, good attacks, but then all of a sudden, it just, I don't know, the tables would turn and then they're the ones stunned by the plays of Ateneo. They commit a lot of errors, so it's just really a matter of having the right focus.
And Ateneo seemingly has more focus right now because they are playing with the chip on their shoulder because they are already down in the standings. They are trying to keep themselves afloat coming into next year.
And you see that, I guess what you'll see from Ateneo is that they're hungry to get the win. Each and every game for them is very important, no matter if their opponent is a weak team or a strong team.
And this is their chance to get a win against a strong team in the form of UST, because so far they have lost to strong teams in LaSalle and Adamson, only defeating UP and NU. Hervasio getting it through the block. Point for Ateneo, 16-17. UST is still up.
Look at Hervasio showing no sign of fear, even if she's up against the tall blockers Maizo and Ortiz.
And Banatikla getting denied by the net there. Banatikla is having a tough day, tough afternoon for Maru Banatikla so far.
UST could have had a bigger lead over Ateneo had they not committed as much errors as they've had in the past few plays.
Di makulangan and look at that, Marta Ortiz. Powerful spike there, getting the kill.
As Gonzalez checks in for Maizo and Caballero for Di Makulangan.
Coach Shaq now digging deeper in his bench, bringing in Gonzalez.
I think at this point, what Coach Shaq wants is to utilize 3 attackers in the front line. So that's why he did the substitution.
Ateneo celebrating after getting that offensive block. Game is tied again, 18-all. Banatikla. You can just see the frustration on her face. She's like, I can't get anything to go here today.
Oh, Ferrer had the right thing in mind, but not much of the height for that last attempt.
She kind of changed her mind. She was about to set it and then decided last minute tried to dump it. Then it just hit the net. Ferrer sets it up this time for Hervasio. Unable to receive that well. Ateneo getting the point. We are tied yet again at 19.
This is like a repeat of set number 1.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we go all the way to 32 again.
Oh, receiving it. Pascual.
These are the plays that Ateneo should do more often. The quick attacks like that, they really catch the blocker of UST guard and even the defense in the back line. Coach Roger by the sideline giving instructions, additional instructions to his players.
Ateneo getting another point here. 21-19. Let's listen in on UST. They're down by 2.
Hindi high school kalaban mo. Ay, ayaw mo galaw yung paa mo eh. Habol lang, habol. Dalawa lang yan. Tsaga lang, ha? Kapit lang, kapit. Receive lang, cut. Tsaga sa receive. Ha? Okay? Sige lang, tuloy lang.
Coach Shaq de Los Santos trying to keep his team in positive spirits, saying dalawa lang yan. Trying to get them, trying to rewire their brain, telling them hindi high school ang kalaban nyo, telling them in the opening statement of his huddle. 21-19. Ateneo up.
Oh, there was a touch by Ho, and Ho knew it was going out.
I think that's just a natural reaction when you see a ball coming to your face. You want to defend it. Even though she knew that the ball was already on the way out. But natiklat now. Acevedo, back set, Pascual. Gabriel, saving it. Hervasio. Good dig by Karangan. Cut shot by UST, doesn't go. Hervasio, denied. Ferrer decides on that offensive set. UST getting a point. Let's listen in on Ateneo now.
Hindi papalo ng madiin eh. Kasi lamang kayo. At siyempre takot ng kaunti. Pagka gano'n, abangan nyo na yung sunod. Pinag-usapan na natin yan eh. Huwag nyong hintayin mababa na yung bola tsaka kayo susugod doon. Tingnan nyo yung kamay ng spiker. Huwag yung titingnan yung nakatatayo lang kayo tapos nililingon nyo lang yung bola. Abangan nyo kaagad, umispread kayo. At sipagan ninyo yung depensa. Ha?
Isa-isa tayo! Isa-isa!
Coach Roger Correa very serious here. Game is tied at 21. So many deadlocks again. Coach Roger talking to the cameraman.
He told the cameraman that he was blocking his view.
Vasco getting it there despite the blockers, Manse. (22-21). Hervasio. Gonzalez. Kainlet. Pascual saving it. Free ball for UST. Gonzalez trying to dump it over. Tabaquero. Ortiz. What a rally.
Caballero catching Kainlet and Pascual off guard. They were just looking at each other.
Julian Caballero, and now she will take a rest here. Look at this. There. And Pascual just smiling it off with Kainlet. Tied again. This time at 22. Hervasio. Oh, did not right the net. Error there. Let's listen again on Ateneo.
Lang naman tayo eh. Oh. Samantalahin nyo, nakita nyo, ini-over nila ng ini-over. Yung pagkaganyan ng kalaban, ibig sabihin, wala na silang, nag-uuramentado na yan. Wala na silang masyadong ano doon sa spiker nila dahil nakukuha nyo yung bola eh. Dapat samantalan, nagre-relax kasi kayo eh. Dikit na yan, score pa 25 no. So dapat yung adrenaline nyo mataas na, wala nang bolang babagsak. Ha? Bantayan yung maigit. Pagka ganun ang sigat sa'yo, paluin mo ng mahaba.
Coach Roger Gorayev stressing that they already had the lead and now losing it. They have to come back here. UST with the advantage. They are serving. This is Rhea Di Maculangan. Rhea Katrina Di Maculangan. Kainglet.
She sends that out. Oh, there's a touch.
Kainglet signaling a touch. The referee agrees. And Ateneo ties the game up again. 23-all.
Boy, I'm not surprised. It's been the same story as what you've seen in set number 1.
Cavallejo now. Acevedo saving it for Ateneo. Ferrer going for a shot. UST able to receive that. And Ateneo taking the lead once again, 24-23. Let's listen in on UST.
Grabe. Kaya babayaan nyo eh. Kapit lang, di pa tapos yun. Ha? Kaya huwag kang magpa-equip kay Aiza. Magpa-equip mo yan, tapos bato mo sa dulo kasi lagi kinukuha sa Aiza. Ipapuntakan pa yun. Huwag sa kami bato sa dulo.
This time, Coach Shaq instructing his girls from the bench.
He didn't even stand up anymore. I guess he's very frustrated with, how things are going for UST. I'm sure that they did not expect that it would be Ateneo who'd have the first set and the lead here in the second set. And now
they have the set. UST is now in a big hole. They are down 2 sets to nothing as Ateneo takes set number 2, 25-23. Wow, what a good game we have here on this Saturday. You are watching UAAP Season 72 Women's Volleyball Tournament. Ateneo leading 2 sets to nothing. When we come back, set number 3. Just keep it here on Studio 23. You're watching the UAAP Season 72 Women's Volleyball as we are set to begin set number 3. It's Ateneo against UST, and Ateneo is leading 2 sets to nothing. Looking at the scores right there, a very long set number 1, 32-30, and in set number 2, Ateneo winning once again after so many deadlocks, 25-23.
That's right. Clearly, it was Zihar Vaso who contributed a lot in the points of the Lady Eagles. And of course, we should give credit to Jem Ferrer also, who did an excellent job setting for her squad. And on top of this, I guess those quick plays that are very rare for Ateneo, it really worked. Both for Ho and for their captain,
and
Pascual.
A timely timeout by Coach Roger Gorayev. Ateneo was actually down 23-22, and then after that timeout, Ateneo sweeping the final 3 points, getting it and winning set number 2, 25-23. Looking at the stats right here.
All right, let's take a look at the numbers. It's not that far in terms of attacking with Ateneo. Ateneo's 15 points as compared to 14 points of UST. In terms of service aces, there are 2 for Ateneo, none for UST. In terms of unforced errors, again, it's pretty close with 7 for Ateneo and 6 for UST.
Set number 3 is underway. Thank you for joining us. I'm Anton Rojas, together with Ann Remulla, live from the arena in San Juan City. ABS-CBN Sports presentation. UST have dug themselves into a big hole. They are down 2 sets to nothing. Ateneo with a chance to tie UST in the standings and finish at 3rd place before going into next year.
Oh, miscommunication, misset there on that quick play.
Trying to get themselves going. Misreception by Hervasio. Free ball for the Tigresses. Tabaquero. Out of bounds there. Another error for UST.
She knew that last attack lacked wrist action. She was like practicing the wrist motion afterwards.
Ferrer. Manse mistimed her jump there. Kainglet. Tabaquero. Acevedo. Caballejo. Maizo. Acevedo. Was there a touch?
No touch. Ball goes out.
Point to UST. 3-1 as we go to Jessica Mendoza for her report on Ateneo.
In the huddle, Coach Roger Goreb reminded the girls to play smart. He encouraged them to think before they act, saying, "Wag lang basta-basta. Tingnan niyo kung saan manggagaling at pupunta yung bola." Now, Anton, Coach may seem very businesslike when it comes to the huddles, but he is very happy with his team's performance. All he wants from them in the third set is to focus and the same determination that they have showed for the first two. For any major improvements the team needs to make, they can do those during the Christmas break. They resume training after the 25th. Anton and Ann?
Thank you, Jessica. Ateneo trying to get a win here and try to make themselves better during the Christmas break. Ortiz. Tabaquero.
That attack does not go over.
Side out, Ateneo. Serving now, Bea Pascual. Ateneo 1 set away from taking this game and tying themselves up in the standings with UST. Maizo Ortiz says you have to beat us first. To 3 now. Tabaquero.
Going to Acevedo.
That was just too powerful for Angelita Tabaquero to receive that tough angle on the spike there. Service error by Net. 6-4. UST is leading. Here's Maizo. Ferrer to Hervasio. Caballejo. UST getting it. 7-4.
Of course, UST knows how important set number 3 is. They really have to win this set should they want to extend the game into a 5-set match.
UST starting off strong here in set number 3. They are leading 8-4. Can they take the set? Find out when we come back. You're watching Season 72 of your UAAP Women's Volleyball Tournament. You're watching us live on Studio 23 from the arena in San Juan City. The Ateneo de Manila Lady Eagles are trying to close this game out in set number 3, but UST starting off strong, leading 8-4. Of course, if UST were to win this game, they would have to really take it 1 set at a time. And try to come back slowly. Because right now, they are still not within striking distance.
But all of the attackers of UST are just really on the groove.
For more on UST, let's go to Tiff Atendido.
Yes, and Don, closing off this year with a win is very important for the team because as you would recall, last season they lost against UP right before Christmas break, and Coach Shaq reminded the ladies of how that loss was painful to them. So he asked if they win this More than that, he told me that as an incentive, a win today means a longer vacation for the ladies. Back to the ball game, struggling for 2 sets, the ladies were asked to keep on fighting. Huwag tayo umasa na patay lahat ng atake. Keep up with Ateneo and give them a taste of their own medicine. Laban tayo ng maayos. Alam niyo naman na tayo nang ang gustong talunin ng Ateneo. Hindi pa tatapos, kapit pa. Anton?
Taking something out of Tiff's report, you know, they still remember that loss to UP going into the Christmas break. And UP was not one of the contenders last year. They finished the season at 3 wins and 11 losses.
I remember that game, and I guess that reminder probably woke up the team, because that's something that they don't want to happen again.
And perhaps they were also relaxing in that game because they were playing UP.
Christmas break mode na.
This time they want to get it right, but they are down 2 sets to nothing. But here in set number 3, UST finally seemingly trying to get their groove. They are leading by 6, their biggest lead of the game, 11-5. Tigresses trying to keep it going here. Micah Ortiz now. Gabriel Ferrer. Back set. Oh. Still alive. Caballero. Getting it off the hands of the Lady Eagle defense. UST now up by 8.
Fewer errors for the Lady Tigresses.
Gabriel Ferrer. Oh! Trying to go for another one of those deceptive dumps, but this time overshot that set, that dump, and went out of bounds.
This has been the biggest lead that we have seen so far in the game.
And Ateneo finally stops that run by UST. Coming back in the game for the Tigresses. Maizo. Caballero. Down the line. It's Julian Caballero. Look at this right here. Ferrer to Hervasio.
Good
Look
save.
at this, look at this. Oh.
Almost a good save by Tabaquero.
Karangan just smiling and picking up, giving Caballero a hug, saying it's okay. We're still up 15-7.
That's right. This is not going to be easy for Ateneo to at least tie it to UST.
16-17. I don't see Coach Roger Gurayem standing up. We'll take a break. UST up here in set number 3. Welcome back to the arena in San Juan City, where the UST Tigresses are leading in set number 3, 16-7. However, they are down 2-0 against the Ateneo de Manila Lady Eagles. And at this point, Anne, when you're part of a team, I mean, you played before. You're already there. You're 1 set away from taking the victory. And yet, how come it seems that Ateneo can't seem to have that killer instinct and get the final set?
Oh, you know it's a sickness. As my coach would say back then, a lot of teams who are up by 2 sets tend to relax in the 3rd set.
We can talk about that more, but first, let's listen in on UST.
Drop ball na naman yan. Pag sarado yung block, yung gilid o kayong drop ball, abangan natin. Hindi pwedeng maghihintay lang tayo ng lalapit na bola sa atin. Ha? O, tapos yan ha, tsaga. Raya, tuloy lang ha. Judy, sipag pa.
UST now has its biggest lead at 10 here in set number 3. And I guess going back to the sickness that you were saying when you're already up 2 sets to nothing.
A lot of coaches are actually familiar with that. It's the tendency of the team to kind of relax in the third set, knowing that they're 1 set away from winning. And so because of that, the other team, of course, who needs to get that win, usually takes advantage of it. And in this case, it's very clear that UST has been successful so far here in the third set.
And as a coach, how do you change that? How do you get the mentality of for here in this ball game, in this situation? How does Ateneo get that mentality that they have to take this set, or else UST will have a better chance at coming back?
Well, I guess it depends on what kind of coaching the team is used to, if it's motivational or if it's challenging. But in the case of Ateneo, I guess what will motivate them is that if they secure the win in the third set, they don't have to go all the way to the 5th set. In terms of energy, they have more energy. Strength, fatigue won't come in yet into play, because if you extend the game into 5 sets, then fatigue would come in, and it's now UST, who's a tough and experienced team, against a team who's younger and I'd say has less experience over UST. So for them, it would be an advantage. If I were Coach Roger, I'm sure he told his team that they would have an advantage if they could end this game much sooner than,
But what do you take from this? Coach Roger just brought in 3 new players here. That's Faustino right there, and then number 14, Kimpo.
2 things, actually. If you look at the score, it's 8-19. It's either he has given up and he's gonna forgo this set and babawi na lang in the next set, or he just wants to give instructions to those who are not performing as expected.
So he's resting the other players because you mentioned fatigue will be a factor later on.
Will let the set go. Who knows? But it's either those 2 things.
UST now with its biggest lead at 11, 19-8. Make that 12 now. 12 now is their biggest lead of the game, 20-8. But Coach Shaq, on the other hand, is making sure that they will take this set. You still see the main guns here for the Tigresses. Tigresses are just continuing to pour it on, 21-8. They keep building on their biggest lead of the game. It is now 13. Faustino, back set, offensive block. Ball is still alive. Di makulangan, Maizo. Getting the kill on Graciela Faustino.
At this point, I don't think Coach Roger has any intentions of bringing back in his starters. In fact, he called some of his other second stringers. Probably gonna feel them in as well.
They're down by 14. Angelita Vaquero with an emphatic spike. That's right. He's bringing out Bea Pascual now.
So most of his starters are on the bench except for Herbacio.
Free ball for UST. Back set. And UST is making mincemeat of this bench of the Lady Eagles. Set point now for the Tigresses. Di makulangan. And with that error, the Tigresses will take set number 3 easily, 25-8. UST will try to come back here in set number 4 and try to force a 5th and final set. You're watching UAP Season 72 Women's Volleyball Tournament. Set number 4 coming up. Distant, they lost 2 straight sets, taking set number 3. But right now, they are leading 10-6 in set number 4. Coming into this game, UST has not lost a set since losing the last 2 against LaSalle on opening day. Ferrer to Kainglet. Di makulangan. Oh, what a hot shot there. And Tabacero is really enjoying it.
This is smart play. Look at this.
Look at this. Look at this angle right here.
The ball was not perfectly set to her, but she knew where she wanted to bring it.
She twisted her body. And then getting a spike. Ateneo getting a point here. 11-7. Ateneo trying to shake off that stigma of not getting the winning set here.
I guess that quick reminder of Coach Shaq on their game against UP kind of, helped wake them up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, UP only finishing 3 wins and 11 losses last season. You don't want to lose to a team that is on the bottom 3. So I guess that woke up the Tigresses. What about Ateneo? They're there. They have to just take one more set. But they're up against UST, one of the top contenders this season.
Okay. I guess Coach Roger earlier made a good point on the fact that skill-wise, he knows that his team has it. The players have it. It's just now a question of who is more experienced, which of course, it would have to be UST.
13-8. Ho. Ferrer. Acevedo. Limakulangan. Oh, man. Wow. Maizo Ortiz will not be denied. Look at this right here.
No blocker for Ateneo. Very wide defense in the back line. That is the problem right now.
Kainglet. Getting the kill. Trying to inject some energy into the Lady Eagles. They desperately need a run to close this game out. But they are down by 5 here in set number 4. Misreception there. Can they recover? Maizo. Ho. Back set. Acevedo.
And the attacks from the back of the setter seems to be working quite well for Ateneo.
2-0 run now for the Lady Eagles. Tabacero. Oh! Aiza Maizo. Pascual. Back set. Acevedo denied. Good offensive block there by UST. Angeli is loving it. Look at this. Angeli and Micah defending against Acevedo. Getting the offensive block, 15-10. Pascual, good dig there. Ho. 3 ball for the Blue Eagles. Di makulangan. Maizo. Can they keep it alive? What a rally.
Oh, but it ends with an attack from Caballero.
Julian Caballero, we talked about her at the top of the coverage, and now she puts UST up 16-10. We will take a break here in set number 4. Ateneo down by 6 here in set number 4, and the crowd, the pep squad of Ateneo, really trying their best to bring back life into the Lady Eagles, who started off strong, taking the first 2 sets. But Angelita Baquero and the rest of the Tigresses have been playing well, giving UST the momentum and the lead here in set number 4. They are trying to force a 5th and final set. 16-10 is the score to be exact. Ferrer, Acevedo, Gabriel, Tukainlet. Another offensive block there by UST. Maizo. Credit that to her.
With a single block. Well read.
Gabriel. Oh.
The blocking of UST.
That is why they're leading right now, because of those offensive blocks in this set.
Almost all of the attacks of Ateneo, they get a hand on it. There's a touch on their blockers.
Yeah. Maizo, all the way to the other side. Free ball for the Lady Eagles. Ferrer to Kainglet. Di makulangan. Convasio, Gretchen Ho. What a rally we're having here. Nobody giving up the point here. Oh, but Maizo finally. Acevedo a little shaken up there on that dive. Look at this right here.
She saw Acevedo moving to the left, and so she put the ball to the right where Acevedo came from.
Listen in on Ateneo.
Sabi sa inyo, puntusan nyo lang sila. Dikitan nyo lang ng mga 15, 18, matataranta na yung mga yan. Kasi naglalaro na sila, relax tayo. Tayo ngayon na naghahabol, kaya hindi kayo, natitense kayo eh. Okay? Habulin nyo maigi. Ang problema kasi sa inyo, ang bagal nyo kumilos doon sa loob eh. Pag may bumablock, yung depensa nakatunga nga. Pag babagsak na yung bola, at saka nang sa kumikilos eh. Kaya kailangan, bilisan nyo na kaunti yung kilos nyo.
Well, this time, Anne, Coach Roger Gorayev is not bringing out the white flag early. He says, dikitan nyo lang yan. 18-10.
It's still possible. Oh, poor setting job by Ferrer.
Hindi makulangan. Well, that's the right attitude. They shouldn't give up this set. I mean, they do not want to go into a 5th set against UST. So Coach Roger Gorayev telling his girls to hang on.
I mean, the 7 points is still not going to be that difficult.
Maizo. Hervasio. Mukulangan setting it up. Ball is still alive for Ateneo. Kainglet has to take it from the back row. Maizo. Gabriel was there. Good save. UST setting up Caballero.
Ateneo needs to adjust and to also cover that down the line area where UST rather has
A point, 13-12. Let's listen in on Ateneo.
Dalawang puntos na lang kailangan natin. Huwag kayong magdibali na. Sige na, kalimutan nyo na yung nangyaring play. Na-block tayo, sapos na. Pag pumapalo ka, konting tiwala ha. Hanapin mo kung saan mo pwedeng padaanin yung bola. Pag nakakita kayo ng chance ball game, hanggat maaari, huwag tayo mag-open ng mataas. Malalaki blocker nila eh. Pag mabilis ang pasok ng quick Gretchen, 3 ang spiker natin, hindi 2. Kaya marami tayong magagawang play ha. I-receive tayo ha. So tayo uma-offensa.
Coach Roger Gorayev talking about offense for like 80% of that huddle, but then putting up the finger and saying, hey, mag-receive tayo ng tama.
That's right. Actually, in this specific play, they actually have the advantage. Oh, but then they have poor service reception. But as I was saying, if you are the team who is receiving, you get to have that chance to attack, therefore higher chances of scoring. There's a touch. Ateneo asking for a touch.
UST celebrating. And look at this, and 13-all in the 5th and final set.
This could be the experience that we were talking about earlier. Imagine trying to catch up and successfully they were able to catch up with the score of Ateneo.
Close call there for Ateneo on that missed set by Ferrer. And a offensive block rather, by Banatikla.
If UST wins this game, this is going to be such a sweet victory for the team.
Coming back from 2 sets down. But it's not over yet. It is not over yet. 14-13. Maru Banatikla getting an offensive block there. UST keeping that alive. Unbelievable.
4 touches.
But 4 touches. Ateneo tying it up at 14. Wow. It doesn't get any better than this. An early Christmas present from ABS-CBN Sports. Ateneo against UST. What a game. Maru Banatikla trying to come alive here in set number 5. Kainglet. No. UST.
Excellent defense by both squads.
The ball is still alive. Whoa! Acevedo using her wit.
Woo! They just need 1 point to close this set.
Excellent drop ball here by Acevedo.
Quick thinking.
Match point here for Ateneo. Can they get it? Banatikla says not yet.
I'm gonna fall off my seat there.
Maru Banatikla saying, y'all forgot about me. I am one of the top rookies here for UST. And I am in the ball game now. Tying the game at 15. Gretchen Hall.
Look at the exchange of points that we are seeing here.
Gretchen Hall with that fire in her face, getting that spike. 16-15, match point again for Ateneo. Which team will go on their Christmas vacation with a win? Could this be Ateneo? Finally, after 5 grueling sets, Ateneo taking the victory, winning in set number 5, 17-15. Coach Roger Goreyev and Coach Shaq De Los Santos exchanging handshakes here. And look what a game we had today, Ann.
That's right. Well, Ateneo proving that experience is not all that there is. In fact, it's really the heart to win, and they've shown that all throughout this game, specifically here in the 5th set.
Yes, Ateneo taking the first 2 sets. You see it right here, 32-30 in set number 1, 25-23 in set number 2. UST coming back, winning set number 3 and set number 4. And in set number 5, you said it, Ateneo showing the heart. And one of the players, one of the Lady Eagles who showed a lot of heart and a lot of fight in her has been Z Hervasio, and you see her line right here.
That's right. She scored 26 points from her attacks. We saw such an excellent game from the Lady Eagles. Congratulations.
And Ateneo, you hear the Christmas tune in the background. Ateneo going into the Christmas break in 3rd place. They tie UST in the standings. They now trail LaSalle with 3 wins and 2 losses each. But tomorrow, join us again on Sunday as we give you the final game day for the UAAP Women's Volleyball Tournament for the year. At 2 p.m., FEU will take on NU. And at 4 p.m., Adamson will play the University of the East Red Warriors. So thank you very much for joining us here today. It has been a great day for volleyball. LaSalle defeating UP in the first game 3-0. And in the second game, Ateneo prevailing against UST 3-2. So for our director, Raul De Ocampo, our courtside reporters, Jessica Mendoza and Tiff Atendido, my partner, Andre Mulga, this is Anton Roa saying thank you so much for watching the UAAP Season 72 Women's Volleyball